famous in the noughties, didn't she, for wardrobe culls and telling people not to wear. And it turns out she's just as brutal when it comes to friendships as well. As she says, I'm ruthless when it comes to letting go of people from my life. If people drain my energy, they have to go. B, I mean, obviously, we would never break up with friends. I'm going to put that caveat in. But if you needed to break up with a friend, what would you do?
I'd air them. I'd just air them.
So just for clarification, the word air came before ghosting.
We've never heard of it.
Which is something that... I used to use the word air all the time, but basically, you'd ghost them.
Yeah, well, yeah. I totally agree with what she's saying. I have not got time for the negativity. I'm just about positivity, and if you want to keep... I'm very good at confrontation if I have to do that, but I don't like to go down that route because it's not very nice for the other person, probably. So, you know, I just... If you're... There's always a difference of opinion, I get that, and I understand that, and there's compromise. I get that also. But if you have somebody who wants to keep coming back and rehashing, I haven't got time for that. We spoke about that. I thought we drew a line. If you're not going to listen...
And I need you to be a bit more specific. What does the airing require? What do you do?
Well, I block you. I block you. I just block you on everything.
Like airdrop?
Well, there's degrees... there's degrees of blocking. First, it might be WhatsApp, and then, because you can still text me or you can still phone me, the good old-fashioned ways, but if that, then I'll just block you. You can't get hold of me.
Wow.
No.
You're hard.
It's not hard. It's just... It just clears my mind. I just don't want to be thinking about is that person thinking... No, I haven't got time for that.
Kelly, do you block people on all platforms?
I kind of don't block them quick enough. I keep people in my life for a long time. I'm delusional. I think people are my bestest friends, and something happened to me where I had someone in my life for, like, since childhood that I thought was my best friend, and she moved away, and then she came back to visit one weekend, and I was so excited. Yeah, I didn't see her all weekend, and she popped in for a cup of tea on the way to the airport, and I realised at that point that she was my best friend, but I wasn't hers. Yeah, and I just thought, I'm just giving...
sorry.
And I just thought, I'm giving my time to the wrong people, and I wasn't really paying much attention to clues over the years that she wasn't a very good friend to me.
Are you better now? Do you read that better?
I think I read it better.
OK.
But the trouble is, as you get older, like, you lose your friends because, you know, I don't have children, so a lot of my friends have children, so they'll be with other... you know, parents that have children, you know, and they all go to soft play or do things that I don't really want to go to.
And you're like, I couldn't think of anything.
So I feel like you kind of lose your friends a little bit when they go off.
But then they come back,
But then they come back. Yeah, then they come back again. So, yeah, I think I'm a little bit better with it. But I'm not as brutal as you, Brenda.
It's not brutal. It's not brutal.
Are you brutal?
Not brutal. Don't
I like that word, brutal. Are you brutal?
No, I'm not. No. I mean, I got rid of this sort of... The hanger-on people when I got sober, you know, and I'm not saying that, you know, I wanted them hanging on because I needed I was like the Pied Piper of clubs, you know, and half of Soho would follow me up the road. Bars went into liquidation when I stopped drinking. So obviously there's been a sort of separation from the wheat from the chaff for me when that happened. But I have kept toxic people in my life sometimes for too long. And then, you know, sometimes when you're sort of sat on the toilet and you have the argument that you wish you'd had, you know? I did a long-running tour once and there was someone in it that was so passive-aggressive and and I never said anything. And I sit on the loo wishing that I could experience that again to sort of have... Because I think passive-aggressiveness is the worst. I don't have time in our busy lives to see my bestest friends. Yeah. So I certainly don't want anybody... I think I watch The Real Housewives of Everywhere just to compare my lovely friendship group with the toxicity that goes on there. Because why would you want to go on girls' trips with those horrible women? But it's compelling to watch.
Do you have... Because I always find it interesting when people sort of say, you know, I had to cut that person out of my life because they were just so toxic. I don't have and never have made friends with anybody that I felt is toxic. I just don't feel like... I gravitate towards those people. So I've never felt that I've had to cut anybody out of my life,
You're
actually.
obviously a good judge of
I
character.
cannot always be... I know I probably dropped the ball with friendships just because, probably for similar reasons that you've just been talking about, Kelly. You know, you have kids and that's, you know, your life suddenly gets filled with kid stuff and sometimes, you know, it's not that they fall by the wayside, but you probably don't call as much as you should do. And I know that I can be guilty of that. But those friends also know if there was anything serious happening in their lives, I would be the first person that turns up. And that happened to me a couple of weeks ago with a friend texted me. I'd not seen her for about 18 months. And then she texted me a couple of weeks ago and it was a tone in the text that I knew that she needed to see me. So immediately I was like, 2 days, I said, look, I can meet you in 2 days, dropped what I was doing, met her for dinner. And then we spoke and it was really emotional. She needed to open up and talk about something. But those friends know that I will do that. I will drop everything. I may not be the friend that's on the phone every day, but they know, hopefully, that I don't require cutting out of their life because I'm not there every day.
Why are you looking at me when you say that? I don't cut people.
I feel like I need to explain myself. Just in case one day I pick up the phone to call you.
Can I just quickly use this friends topic to go a little bit off piece because I just have been desperate to say to Kelly, are you still really good friends with Madonna? Because we know that you were.
Oh, were you friends with Madonna?
Do you remember?
Well, I used to know her because my ex-boyfriend and her husband used to be really close. So we were friends for a minute and I would go to her house for dinner. Oh, there we are! There you are! No, and I have to say, I was a lot younger than her. And I remember she had a birthday party and I turned up at her house and everyone was dressed like a Japanese geisha and she was like, did you not get the memo? Like, what are you wearing? And I was like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't get the memo. I just thought it was a party. She went, come upstairs. And she basically dressed me in all of her clothes. She just had rails and rails of clothes.
No.
And she dressed me and I got to keep the clothes.
Was she lovely to you? Because there's so many stories about her, isn't there?
I thought she was an absolute dream. Like, honestly, I just adore her. She can be really strong and really fiery, and I think she...
Like the rest of us, Kathy.
Yeah, but I think she just really sticks up for herself, and I think she's a hard-working woman, and I think people get intimidated by that. You know what it's like. We all know what it's like.
Exactly.
But no, I always found her really friendly and a real girl's girl. And she had a lot of really close friends that she's had for many years. Her best friend, Debbie Mazar, been her best friend for years.
Oh, wow.
Can you get back in with us so we can go to
I haven't seen her. I saw her, like, about 10 years ago on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And we had a hug and a kiss and you know, it was lovely to see her, but that was the last time.
After the show, we all need to have a chin wag off camera so we can get... Right, after the break...